Hey, sports fans, Greg Medford Knife. What's going on? I think I'm up and running. So, you guys, welcome to our weekly show, our daily show. This is not a Greg private production. This is not a Greg solo production. This is a Greg and Company production. We've got Billy in the background producing. We've got Jeff will be a guest today. We've got a bunch of people going to stop in, hopefully, and tell us a little bit of their stories. Today is day one of 10 days of Your American Story. What we want to do is there's so many things out there where people can do self-serving things. So you can enter a thing to win a knife yourself. You can do all these selfish things. Nothing wrong with that. We wanted to do something a little bit different. We're trying to figure out how to kind of whoop up the butterfly effect. So since this COVID-19, now, and those of you who've been around a while know that I've been standing on a mountaintop by myself for 10 years, screaming up and down about China and how China is our enemy. And we need to kick every Chinese national who's going to our universities, kick them out of the country. Everyone who's working in the technology sector, kick them out of the country. We do not need to be teaching Chinese people how to do chemical weapons and how to make missiles and how to do stealth technology and how to do quantum mechanics theory and quantum computation. We don't need to be teaching China how to do that. They, in my hashtag #FChina segment, you guys can see all about this. They can go figure that out in China. But here in the United States, not so much. So, hey, who do we have on here? Billy, what's going on? I see somebody else's face here. Who's this? Billy, what's going on? Is this a technical glitch we have going on right now?
Can you not hear us? You should be able to hear us right now.
I can hear you. I can't hear anyone else.
Oh, hey, Greg. I can
Hey
hear
there.
you.
Who's this?
Craig.
Hey, Craig. What's going on?
Not much, just hanging out because of the virus, but other than that, just not much.
Did you just come on? Did you come on to tell us your Made in America story, or what's going on here?
Yeah, no, I always buy Made in America stuff because the quality, the pride of owning American stuff, just everything needs to be made in America, even my boots.
I totally agree with you. A lot of people think it's nationalism. A lot of people think it's racism, but they haven't really thought it through. And I'm a huge fan. When you buy something American made at every level, from the raw materials to the tractor trailer rig that brought it over the road, to the electricity you're paying for, to the public works and the roads your employees came to work for, to the overtime rules and the 40-hour work week and all the workman's comp insurance and life insurance and health insurance for your employees and all of that stuff adds incremental cost to the cost of the product. And the problem is, us Americans, we vote for all this stuff, and then we go buy something where that country cheats and doesn't pay for those things. We go, oh, I want my neighbor to follow all these rules, but I'm going to buy from someone who's not my neighbor who didn't have to follow any of these rules.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for your story. I appreciate you reaching out. So was there anything else in particular you wanted to leave us with?
No, not at this time. Probably in another show, I'll come up with something else.
All right, cool. Well, I love hearing about American made. So, guys, it's Greg Nutt from Medford Knife. Jumping in here, that's our first opening story. Got thrown in my lap a little quickly. I wanted to do a little opener and give you guys a heads up what we're doing. So what we're really trying to do is we want people just like that to call us up and tell us their story. And we're looking for the most compelling American-made purchaser. This is not, I'll repeat, this is not like some racist or this is not some nationalist, false nationalist or false American pride. This is really one of, you go to the voting polls, you go to the voting booths, you vote certain ways, and you do this, and you expect your neighbors and your countrymen and the people in your town, your village, your state, and your country to abide by all these rules. And all these rules cost a lot of money. You say, well, yeah, but it's for the environment. Okay, but fine. It costs money. Well, it's for the worker. Yeah, okay, but it all costs money. So I'm fine. I agree to play by all the rules, but it's really expensive having all these highfalutin ideals and highfalutin approach to doing business foisted upon us by the voting population and by our governments. We have city, municipal, county, state, and federal rules that the compliance for which is amazingly expensive, the insurance at every level, all of these things. And then people basically go to these large box stores like Walmart and they buy products from countries that don't have any of those rules. I would call these types of people virtue signaling liars. You're a virtue signaling liar if you believe in highfalutin, protected, pro-worker workforce, and then you buy imported stuff from third world countries. Now, capitalists and big corporations that go take advantage of this cheap labor, I don't blame them. I don't agree with them, but I don't blame them. You foisted and thrust that upon all of us, and some people, the weak and short-sighted, that's what they do. They outsource it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to warm people's hearts with pro-American stories, pro-American products, pro-American customer service relating to a product issue, because we all know it's like when you buy a product that's made in a foreign country and it's not supported. It's really frustrating. There's a reason foreign stuff's cheap. It's cheap at every level. And there's a reason American-made stuff is expensive, because it's expensive at every level. So surround yourself with the very best things. Have the very best life. And if you need a hammer, or you need this, or you need that, there's things you need in your life. Have them be the very best things made by your countrymen, supporting the very best in innovation, the very best in competitive technology from your country to make your part of the world. You want to make the world a better place, you start right here in your house. So what we're doing is we're trying to get consumers to think about moving their needle. There's purchasing everywhere, and if all we do is shop for the cheapest price, we are ignorant. It's like shopping for it's voting for the politician that promised you more, regardless of how true it is. We're saying there's a different reality. The discerning person who is an upper class in their mind, they are upper class. It means they're a thinker and they do stuff with intentional action. It's nothing to do with what kind of car you drive or what neighborhood you live in. We want to move that needle a little bit. We think there's a needle to be moved. What percentage of the things in your home are made in China that should be made in the United States? I tried to buy a toaster this weekend. There is no American-made toaster made for the home. Just some $1,500 toaster that is a high throughput production toaster for cafeterias. You can't put that thing in your kitchen. So I'm looking for the most engaging made in America stories, made in America lessons, made in America, like, hey, I'll tell you the story about this thing I wanted to buy made in America. I want to find out about products that say they're made in America that aren't, the best out of fake, not made in America products. Jeff and I have been on a kick for we've been on it for a while. I've been on it for about 10 years, but the last couple months since the Chinese Communist Party's lying, since the Chinese Communist Party virus came out of China, since that happened, we've been on a kick to buy American. We're looking for folks with these stories. And what we're going to do, this knife you see in the foreground here, we're going to give this knife away to the best story. Now, here's the deal with it, okay, you guys? We're not giving the knife to you. So this is an altruism thing, because the whole point of this 10-day exercise is to tell our friends and our neighbors and get them in on it. We want to give away a knife to one of your friends. So what we want you to do is tell us your compelling story about your journey in buying American made and your consciousness coming to be of it. Let's inspire each other with the fun stories and anecdotes about it. And then the gift, we're not getting it for ourselves. We're telling our story so that we can get our friend on here and have them maybe get bit by the bug. So the lesson of this is good things can be infectious and can change the tide. How can we force a butterfly effect to move the needle? Because if your average household buys between $50,000 and $100,000 worth of stuff a year, and we can move that needle a few percentage points for 1,000 people or 10,000 people, and then we can move it a lot of percentage points for a few people, we can do $1 million video or a $10 million series of videos that changes the world one little tiny bit. That's why we're doing this. So this is the knife. Let me talk about the knife just for a minute, then we're going to have our next guest on. So this is called the Praetorian Slim. This is a very thin, for those of you who like the Slim MIDI, it's 1/8 inch slabs, 1/8 inch blade. It is the length of the Praetorian Genesis. It's been squished down. It's like the automatic, the Praetorian Swift, except all titanium, S35VN stainless steel, frame lock side, spring clip, absolutely lovely, tiny little thin knife. Now, why are we doing this little guy? We're doing this little guy, and it's on bearings too, and it's got a shoulder window breaker for knocking through windows without busting your hand up. Why are we doing this knife? The reason we're doing this knife is really, really palatable for new people who are new to knives. Let me get that in the right place. For folks who are new to knives and they don't necessarily want a big old hunkin' crazy knife. They want a really nice pocketable knife. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to get some ingenues, some new entries into the knife world, and we want you to kind of nominate them. So what you're going to win in this contest is a chance to give away a gift and just bring somebody in. That's it. So I was told by my crew, people won't do this unless it's for themselves. Yes, it's on bearings. People won't do this unless it's for themselves. And I said, no way. My knife crew is way cooler. The guys who like and listen to me, they're all about service. A lot of them are veterans. They all, or they wish they were veterans, or their dad was a veteran, their uncle was a veteran. They want to serve. How can we serve? We can change. We can change our state of mind. We can change the people around us. We can make a good argument, have the good fight, and change everything for the better. We can do it before the government makes up a rule. We can just do it. So here we go. Who's our first guest? Billy. Bring him on. Who do we have?
He left.
He left. I talked too long and he had to scoot.
Yeah.
So much for that.
I don't have a way to talk to them, so we have to kind of bring them on right away, I think, or they'll.
I get it. Well, they can hear me talking about it. So he was waiting in the wings. So the gentleman was waiting in the wings ago to tell a few minutes ago. If he wants to hop back on, go ahead and click back in. So for those of you who haven't done it, just click in the link down below. You'll see a thing for what's it called? Just click down in there, and you can kind of share your. Click on the link and you put your name in and join the. It says join the video or join the discussion or whatever, and then it puts you in queue, and you're like in the green room, and you just kind of wait there, and then Billy, my producer, will just bop you right into the show. But that's what this whole thing's about. It's a pay it forward giveaway. So we're looking for guys to get on and either show us their cool American-made product, tell us about the hardest thing they bought recently, or some in the last year, maybe they had a really hard time finding an American-made heat gun or whatever it is. Tell us your tale. We want to hear what you come up with. We're going to do this, and I figure it's a little nebulous for guys. It's not as easy as just hit like and you'll win $1,000 knife. We're trying to engage a little bit more. We want you to engage your brain a little bit more. And if we want to hear about your most recent Made in America, maybe where you went out of your way to buy Made in America. Like I went out of my way to get this because it's American made and it is on. And we want to hear that story so you can think about it. So today's kind of a primer, and then tomorrow we're going to let it rip for the next 9 days, and not this Friday, but next Friday, we'll give this knife away to one of you with the best story, to someone you can be a benefactor in your life. Maybe it's somebody who lost the job, and maybe it's going to be a thing that's like a gift, and they're going to get their job back because the economy's awesome, and they get this gift while they're a little bit down, and it really brightens their spirits. And as they get their job and they're kind of recovering and they're back into the engine of commerce, they're really into it and become an American-made buying fan. Carlos, how you doing? This is Greg. What's happening, man?
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm awesome. Thanks for joining us. What's on your mind today?
Just wanted to see what the live broadcast was about, and happy to be here, be part of this.
Good to have you here. Hey, if you can adjust your camera so you can get your face on the screen a little bit. Hey, there you are. We're talking about American made today. That's the whole thing. So we're talking to folks who've got a story to tell about them buying American made, or the last time they wanted to get something that was American made, how hard it was to find, that kind of thing. Have you had any experiences like that? Is that what you're here to chat with us about?
Well, yeah. The first thing I've been doing is just doing an overhaul of all the things that I have at home that I thought were American made, and just don't want to buy that crap anymore that's not made here. And looking to find out about bigger companies that are here in the States that we can keep everything local and purchase from home instead of purchasing abroad.
You know, it's funny. This is one of those times where liberals, they intersect with us, and our fellow Americans have so much in common. You know, they talk about locally grown food. You know, they say, you know, your food in this restaurant is locally sourced and farmers market and all of this. And this is kind of like the big boy durable hard goods version of that. And I want my stuff made by Americans who played by the rules, who took care of the environment and took care of their people. And it's the same thing as wanting to go down, you know, having your salad at your shishi restaurant out for date night with your girl from all locally sourced produce and all of that. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It should appeal across both groups of people, I think. It's ironic.
Absolutely.
So, what have you found? Have you found any surprises in your American-made journey? Because I found one this weekend, and it just pissed me off.
Well, you know, like there was a lot of stuff that we had around the house, like even just like stuff with our furniture and things that we thought were made here, and we purchased them at American stores, but was made in China and, you know, Korea and places like that.
Well, I got to tell you, so I've been, Jeff and I talked a lot about this, and I don't know, Billy, if you want to jam Jeff into the conversation, but we basically were looking at this, and there's no way to go all American, and there's some things that maybe shouldn't be made in America, but it definitely shouldn't be like medication, and it shouldn't be like these great furniture designs out of the Carolinas from these wonderful craftsmen, and then they have it knocked off in China. That's what so like, Korea, they probably make great TVs. We should get TVs made in Korea. I don't mind Taiwan and Korea. Like I said, it's not a racism thing. Korea's a good neighbor, right. South Korea anyways, right? Taiwan's a good neighbor. They're a functioning democracy that takes care of their people, and they're honest brokers in the world scene. Italy, Germany, these are all honest countries, right? But China's just not an honest country. So I'm like all things not China. So I'm not kicking out everybody I'm not kicking out anybody who's not American. I'm trying to go 80% American, 20% foreign source goods, 0% China. I'm on a 0% China kid. What do you think about that, Carlos?
I love that. I love that idea. I support it 100%.
Well, you know, we just got something from one of our companies, and they have it made in Mexico. And my head of sales, he was like, screw that. And I go, no, Mexico. It may be a failed narco state, but they're our failed narco state. I mean, we helped make it that way. They're our neighbor. They're trying to be a democracy, even though they're not functioning that well. They're better. They're way better than China. So we got to figure out. We got to figure out who our friends are, and we need to do business with our friends. Keep it with our friends. That's what I say.
Sir, that's correct.
Yeah. So as much American as I can, because I agree with Americans more than foreigners about most things. And then if I can't get it in America, I'm only buying it from an ally, a friend. Well, Carlos, thanks for stopping in. I see your Hellbent hat on there. A new Glade, and Johnny, his wife, that kicked that off. I know it's owned by somebody else now. We wish those guys best of luck out there in the Hellbent land, and all of you. I'm actually carrying in my pocket an early. Hold on a sec. I got my early Hellbent. On with a carbon fiber clip on it. So
okay.
I'm a fan.
I'm carrying one of these in my pocket.
Oh, snap! Okay, you win. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Carlos. Have a great day. Keep your nose clean.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Be safe.
See you, man. This is like Tales from the Crypt, except me being a skeleton that rises up out of a coffin to tell you stories. We're just going to talk about America, stuff made in America. And Carlos did something else. This is Dimitri. Hey, Dimitri, how are you?
Greg, I'm good. How you doing?
Good, man. Get in there a little closer so I can hear you. I can barely hear you.
All right. Sorry, brother. Hey, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for dropping in. Very cool. Tell us your story, man.
All right. I got a good one. American made. So a couple weeks ago, you had a giveaway, and I got my son involved in it. He's 14 years old, and I thought, it's a great way to try and get him involved in looking at buying stuff that, hey, is made here, where we make it, where it goes, our money goes here, which is awesome. So I'm thinking about what you did, saying, hey, shoot us something that is American made. And I'm looking around my house and I'm thinking, okay, what do I have American made? And I play bass. I've got a Carvin bass made in California, awesome company, and custom left-handed. Cost me an arm and a leg, but hey, it's a beaut. My father-in-law served in Nam. My brother was in the Navy. And when I first got married, he said, nah, I was going to buy like a jack for a car. And he said, hey, I want you to buy an American jack. And I'm like, okay, Pop, you want me to buy an American jack? Fine. Took me forever. Took me like 3 months to try and find this thing. I finally find it. Great. I got this American jack and instilled something in me that was nice. So move on to now. I'm trying to get my kid involved in it. And you had this giveaway last week, a couple weeks ago. Now I'm looking around my house. It's almost impossible to find something that's made in America anymore. Now, remember Walmart? Remember 20 years ago when we were kids, 30 years ago? You go to Walmart and everything in Walmart is American made. Walk into Walmart now and try it. Try for 5 minutes to find. Try for 20 minutes. Try for 3 hours to find something that's made in American Walmart. And other than the employees, you're not going to find it. So I love the concept of what you're doing. Sounds great. And it really, the big one is for me, for the kids, get them involved in buying stuff that is made here where we could spend
their money. So you make a good point. So Dimitri, I see that the point of your jumping on with us is tell us you got your kid involved and how hard it is to buy American, basically, right? Okay. Well, I totally agree. My kids are all in on this. I talk to them all the time. My kids know what the difference between globally sourced American assembled means. We've talked, it's funny, you have these conversations and, I know a lot of people are out just living life and they're not all as politically centric as I am. But by talking with kids and explaining our decisions, we end up getting more plugged into the world because you start explaining to your kid what South Korea and North Korea, what's the difference between those two countries. And then they ask, well, what do you mean the Korean War? And what do you mean the demilitarized zone? And what do you mean communism? And what do you mean Taiwan? And what's the difference between that and Vietnam? And where's Bangladesh? And it's spectacular because what's going on is grown-ups being called out for their morals. You kind of get your Google out. You start Googling some stuff. You sound like a moron for your kid. You get yourself squared away and you kind of say, hey, look, let's look on Google together. And I recommend people do this all the time. So you bring up an awesome point. Thanks for stopping in the show today, Dimitri. The idea of bringing kids into this and starting to explain our decisions, it's not about teaching our kids hatred or dislike of all things. It's not xenophobic. It's not the hatred of foreigners or anything like that.
We make better products.
It's just saying, hey, we vote for these things. We got to support the businesses we forced to live by these rules. We gotta take care of our own, and then we can take care of everybody else. You got to take care of your own. You got to take care of your family. Nobody can say I got to help the neighbors down the street and let my kids starve. You got to take care of your own, which is your country. And when your country's functioning well as a country, you can do more good in the world than you can when the country's failing. So, Dimitri, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate your 2 cents.
Great concept, man.
Thanks, man.
Keep up the good fight. Good times.
Appreciate it. So, just an awesome point. We'll see who jumps on here next. I know a lot of you guys, I talk to people. Most people are not geopolitically as plugged in as I am, paying attention. And it's totally cool because you got lives going on. Other people actually have hobbies besides reading. I think it's a great time to engage our kids and let them get a chance to feel what these decisions are like and how, when we buy something, hey, we're not going to buy this today. Let's go see if we can find it somewhere else. And I think let's go see if we can find an American-made one. That little journey, you start going on that journey with your kids. It makes shopping more fun. You're like looking for the needle. It's almost like when you're playing video games and there's an Easter egg hidden in the video game somewhere, or like the little Jeep that's hidden on the window in a Jeep. People love being on the inside scoop, the inside track, taking the smart path. And our youngsters, we've got to do this. If that's what comes out of this whole thing, and I didn't even think of that, maybe that's what comes out of this. If everybody here has 50 conversations with their kids about, hey, I was going to buy this today on Amazon. Let's look at it. Let's see where it's made. You go down and look in the frequently asked questions, where it's sourced. You Google, hey, where is the KitchenAid 4-slot T25 toaster made? It says, oh, made in China, made in China, made in China. You go, oh, well, let's not buy a whole a toaster because we've already got one and it's working. So the environment's already given us that. But we're going to need something else, and let's try and buy an American-made one. It's fascinating, and the kids will learn so much from it. And what happens is you kind of want to stop buying junk and you want to buy awesome. And then you hold out. You're like, no, I'm going to wait. No, I didn't buy that. I'm going to wait. You almost need to have a little tally going on the side. And the tally, every time you don't buy something because you can't find American made, just tell how many dollars you saved. And when you get to $1,800, buy that really cool thing you wanted that was $1,800. You know, I would have bought other junk and I didn't. Let's buy this badass American thing and you move on to the next thing. And no, I don't have any Praetorians whose regular price is $1,800. Okay, Billy, if that's it, if we don't have anybody else who's wanting to hop in, I'm getting ready to jump off. So just to recap what we're doing here this week, you guys, is we want you to get on. We want you to jump on here. We want you to tell us your American-made story. And whoever's got the best, most compelling, most memorable thing about buying American-made over the last month, 2 months, year, whatever, or how they converted somebody else, we want to try and convert whoever is the best. And at the end, I'm sure somebody's going to tell me. So I don't even know what the date is today. So not this Friday, but next Friday, we're going to give away a knife to one of your friends. So this is a competition for the ability to give away a really cool Praetorian Slim, brand new model that just came out. So come check us out. We're going to have a countdown going. We'll be 2 o'clock Arizona time, which is Mountain Standard Time, every day for the next 2 weeks. We're going to do a quick show and let guys who have an American-made tale to tell jump in, tell their story, say hi, commune with us a little bit, and we'll do the thing that we have been doing for thousands of years. We're going to sit back in our Ooga Booga moose fur suit, put our feet up at the fire, at the digital fire. We're going to tell our story in the flickering light. If you want to know how to dial in, all you have to do is go to where the live feed is and go down below. You'll see a link. And I think this is one of the things that's unclear, Billy. And I know Billy's watching this as a producer. It's not clear for everybody how to just jump in. And we need to have a little spot. I think it should be in the written description above the video. There should be a link right there. We want to hear your stories, boom, boom, boom. And the link should be in that text at the very top. We don't have it right now, and this is why we're doing this. We'll have the glitches worked out by tomorrow. Anyways, Greg Medford, Medford Knife, MKT USA, Medford Knife /live is where this is going to be each day if you want to go there organically and watch it. Or you can go to our social media platforms and splash in. We'll put the link above the video feed tomorrow and for the next 9 days. Jump in, join us, tell us your American story. Have somebody in mind that we can have a little impact. Maybe they need something uplifting. Maybe, maybe they had maybe they lost their job or got furloughed or laid off because of coronavirus for whatever, and we want to reach out to them and see if we can do something nice to them. Anyways, Greg Medford, Medford Knife,